Hello there, greetings. Friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you all are having a very good time. This is a very quick session where I am going to cover AWS Partners Solution, which was formerly known as AWS Quick Starts. So you will say what is different about this one. So basically AWS Quick Starts or AWS Partner Solutions, this is a service in the AWS which hosts bunch of AWS Cloud Formation templates. So if you have seen my previous session on AWS Cloud Formation, we have seen that there are ready-made templates that we can use and start using for our application. Okay, so in this case we are going to cover AWS Partner Solutions, and here if you log in, so I'll share this link with you, and as you can see there are around 450 plus services or 450 plus templates are there which we can start using. So we can see in the left side there are different options we can choose among these. Say for analytics, if we want, we can choose or say blockchain. So this will directly provide us a template and then we can start using it directly. So for this exercise I will just select this one, WordPress high availability by Bitnami. Okay, I will click on this one. So you can see the page has opened, and on this page we can see there is a diagram about this solution that is going to be created, and about this one what you will build. So basically with this template what it will build is it will build a bunch of different resources for us. For example, a highly available architecture, because this is multi-AZ. Okay, as you can see by name, it's high availability. It means high availability will be achieved using multiple AZs, that is availability zones. It's not just one availability zone. So in high availability, as we know, we will deploy a solution across multiple availability zones, because any one availability zone goes down, our application will be intact and it will keep running. Okay, so basically here what it will create this is a highly available architecture that will be created as per this diagram, and it will cover a VPC, that is virtual private cloud, which is configured in public and private subnets according to AWS best practices. So this is with respect to network. So network infrastructure will be deployed. Along with that, an internet gateway, so that we will need access to the internet, it will be created, and this gateway used by a bastion host to send or receive traffic. So if you are not aware what is the bastion host is nothing but this is an EC2 instance normally, and this is the function of this bastion host is to send and receive the traffic. Okay, so it's not used there is no other purpose, but normally it's being used to send or receive the traffic. For example, if say we are running a database which is on the EC2 instance, so due to security reason we will not be directly connecting the database, right? And when we need to do some patching of the database and updates, so what we can do is those patches or updates will be downloaded on the using the bastion host. Okay, so we can use in that case, due to security purpose, bastion host are used. After that, in the public subnet, manage NAT gateways to allow outbound internet access for the resources in the private subnet, that will be created. Okay, then in the public subnets, Linux bastion host in auto scaling group to allow inbound secure shell SSH access to the EC2 instances. Yeah, so auto scaling group also we have seen. Auto scaling group is something like we can scale the resources automatically. Okay, then elastic load balancing ELB to distribute HTTP and HTTPS requests across multiple WordPress instances, that will be created, like elastic load balancing ELB will be created. Along with that, in the private subnet, EC2 instances that host the WordPress application on Apache, these instances are provisioned in auto scaling group to ensure high availability. So here you will notice there is high availability that has been achieved at each tier. Going forward, within using the template, there will be Aurora DB instances. So this will Aurora is the database, that is relational database that will be created, and this is here that will be created, and there will be two instances of Aurora. Along with that, in the private subnet, there will be an EFS, that is Elastic File System Amazon EFS will be created, because EFS is shared. So here, if you can see, I'll just show you this diagram. And finally, in the private subnet, Amazon Elastic Cache for memcached nodes for caching database queries. Okay, so if I click on switch to full screen view, you can see on this page that which are the resources that will be created using this template. Okay, first of all, VPC, that is virtual private cloud. This is basically it will be created on a VPC, and there are two subnets you can see. One is private subnet, another is public subnet. The public subnet will be facing to the internet, and private subnet is, this is will private, and internally it will be connected. So as we have seen, what is the resources that will be created. So a bunch of resources that are going to get created here. Since this is a high availability, you can see there are two availability zones. On my left side, this is one availability zone, another on the right side is another availability zone, and resources will be created inside these. Okay, then if we go down, we can see there are WordPress instances. Again, there are multiple instances are in the auto scaling group that will be created, and at the back end it will be having Amazon Aurora database. And here we can see this is Amazon EFS. So EFS is Elastic File System. We have not covered it yet, but basically this will be shared. So say for example, this EFS, this is kind of storage that will be shared across our EC2 instances on the each availability zone. It will be common, so that it will be sync. It's not like we have separate storage. It will be a common storage between these EC2 instances which will be hosting the WordPress instance. So this is basically about this diagram or the resources that will be created. Going back to our page, on the next page we can see how to deploy. Okay, so here there are options like if we have say we have already created a new existing VPC or new VPC, either way we can create, and as per this this deployment takes approximately 40 minutes. Okay, so these are the things. So here it has mentioned, and once the deployment is done, we can test the deployment by accessing WordPress and logging into dashboard that we have seen in the last session. And either we can do it using through the WordPress user interface or by connecting the user through SSH. Okay, so in the last session we tried to connect to using this WordPress site using the user interface, and these are like Elastic Cache and these two PHP by code cache. These are the optional. Basically Elastic Cache you will use to, this is a caching service. There are types like Redis and Memcached. So if you want to cache or improve the performance, you can go with the Elastic Cache. So these 4 and 5 are the optional ones, so we need not worry about that. Then about cost and licenses also, we can see here what will be the licenses that will be used. So WordPress site, WordPress high availability by Bitnami, and its components are provided as open source software and are distributed under the following licenses. So it will use these following licenses once done. Okay, so if I click on how to deploy, and I will click on deploy into new VPC, since I have already logged into my AWS management console. So you can see if I click on deploy into new VPC, so it will directly open the page because as I have already logged into the AWS management console. And this is the same page that we have seen in the last session, the cloud formation stack it will create. So in this case, this is this is the template which is available on the S3 bucket, and that we can start using. So we can click on next. If we want to see the designer, we can click here, we can click next, and the similar way that we have seen in the last session, we need to specify the stack details. So yeah, I'm facing some network issue right now. Okay, so I'll just click on view in designer so that you will get an idea which are the resources will be created under designer view. So here we can see both JSON as well as YAML template. Okay, if we click, so either language, the code will be open in either of this language. Okay, so even we can download diagram as an image. Okay, and if I view, we can see here, so this will be overall the diagram how it will be configured in this ready-made template using the AWS quick start, which is now known as AWS Partner Solutions. I'm not going to do this right now, so you can just review this page. I will share the link in the description, and you can see and validate which are the resources are getting created. Also you can customize it. For example, if you don't need to use Amazon Aurora, so we can modify it in the designer view, and instead of that Amazon Aurora we can use another table like DynamoDB or other, or MySQL or other database that you can try for. So friends, I hope you got the point. Okay, and this was a very quick session, so please go through it, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Cloud with Mohsin, and thank you so much for your time. Take care. Bye bye.